What's going on, y'all? It's your girl V.
And it's your girl, April Love.
And welcome to Love Unlocked Talk. We have a special episode for y'all this week. This week, our topic is situationships. And so I thought it would be perfect to invite the author of the book Situationships, Mr. David Lloyd. So I am looking forward to having him on the show and get that male perspective.
Right.
So we're just going to get into it. Before we have him on, leading into situationships, I want to talk about Danny Lee and Mimi. Did you see them on Instagram?
Yeah, sorry y'all. My phone went off. I didn't want no problems. But yes, I saw them and I'm
like, what's really going on?
I mean,
Like, are we sharing right now?
It's the typical, whatever. He has a baby mama.
Yes.
She's in a situationship with him, clearly, because he wants to be doing whatever he wants to be doing. And then he has the industry chick. You know what I'm saying? And
well, according to her, it's more than one. She's like, you know how many bitches I've seen in and out, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sure.
But are we waiting around for this? Because that's what it seems like. So basically, they have a situationship where they have an understanding, and that's just what it is, and she's accepting of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm taking from it, because who does this?
A lot
of people. You're right. A lot of people do this. They do.
A lot of women do. That's why I'm like,
it's the world we live in
it's
today.
A typical baby mama, baby daddy situation.
So
a situationship, right? Where he is still coming and going with his baby mama. They have a child together. And she's not part of the industry, so they have probably a deeper relationship that he's going to have with other women, and she's probably holding on to that. Like, well, he still turns around and come back. So.
That's so sad. Like, don't do that. Like, ladies, don't do that. Like, want more for yourself. I don't care if you have a kid with this person. Like, stop it. Like, you look crazy out here.
You do look crazy.
You know what I mean?
But I think honestly, if she were to kind of just be like, oh yeah, I'm moving on, he probably would stop messing with everybody else.
Yeah, to keep her around.
And keep her around.
That's what they do.
She's ready to be in a situationship again.
It's so unfortunate. I mean, I can't even say I feel bad for her because she knows what's up. So you're a willing participant in the bullshit. And I just don't think that that's cute. Like, a situationship can't go on forever. Like, at some point, there has to be some type of commitment or really just be cool or friends with benefits or whatever you want to call it. But let's not make this an ongoing relationship. That's just whack.
She said, hey, that's her baby daddy. And
I can't roll my eyes hard enough.
Yeah, she was here before all of y'all knew whatever about him.
Stop.
I was here and I'm still here, and when he's done with Sally, Mally, whoever, Yellowbone, he's gonna come back. Like,
I've dealt with men who have baby moms like that. Like, okay, you're here for now, but he'll be back, and that is just not what's up. Like, why would you even want to be a part of that? As the other girl, like, you already know what's up. He's done it multiple times. It's not like it's a one-time deal. It's his MO. So what are we doing?
I don't know. They say it's love. That's what they're saying. They say
Goodbye.
It's love. They say love is just, it makes you do the craziest things, and you can't even control yourself. You're just like, I'm just following love.
Stop it. Well, I mean, I really don't have nothing else for y'all. We're going to get into this in more detail with our guest host, David Lloyd. I'm excited to have him on. Like, we haven't had a guest in all season. We had a guest season 2 with the foot fetish, but we haven't had a guest with this season 3. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing a male perspective on the situationships. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. And when we return, we will be joined by our special guest. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Love Unlocked Talk, and let's just get into it. I want to introduce our guest this week. His name is David Lloyd Marcus, a.k.a. Dr. Ouch.
Dr. Ouch.
Mr. Author, CEO, director. He's all things, and I'm so happy that you're joining us this week, David. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I know that we talked about situationships before David joined us.
Yes.
And I wanted to know your opinion, David, on situationships. Like, give us the male perspective on what is that really about in the male world?
In the male world, it's really just you kind of seeing someone having sex normally, but you get all the benefits of a relationship, but without the commitment and responsibility of a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, so that would be the male perspective of it. And a lot of times, I feel like it starts off great. I know everybody's on the same page, but it goes left at some point because you're doing all of what I just said.
It definitely does. So I'm gonna let April. Do you have a question for him?
Well, I wanted to know because I feel like I've been in a few situationships that were not necessarily, there was no sexual activity going on, but it was still like we were moving, like we were something, but we weren't. And I think what happens where it goes left is somebody eventually starts wanting the title of it. But do you think that situationships are just limited to, like, you have to be having sex with this person that you're in a situationship with?
Because I think to me, once the physical, I mean, unless you're dating and one of those people that don't have sex before marriage and it's mutual, both of you decide not to do that. Then I think you could be in a situationship about it. But to me, if you're not mixing the land up, if you're not committed, you're just not committed. I get people wanting more. There's people that are just talking that somebody wants more, and they're not even dealing too happy, but somebody's really interested. Somebody else just sees them as a person to go with the movies without the equal time.
But then if that's the case, then why not just say that? Like, just be like, I'm not looking for anything, and you know what I mean, that's it. So that lines don't get blurred. Because that's where the issues arise when people aren't upfront, right?
I think the issues arise even when people aren't.
You right.
I think that's what makes situationships a thing, because it's something a lot of times in the beginning that both people agree on. Not look in one person. I always say a situationship is not for a hopeless romantic at all.
Right.
Because you set yourself up. Because you're dealing with somebody that is okay moving that way, and if you want, so that person needs to be honest too. Like a lot of times we say the person is not upfront, or the person that doesn't want the relationship, we label them in the wrong. When sometimes you're wrong for signing up for something that you can't handle too.
That is so true.
If you know you really want more, don't think like, no, I know what he's saying, but I can wait. I know he'll change once he gets a taste of my personality.
That's what we do though. And he knows it. That's why he just said it. Like, listen here, David. The reason, I'm gonna tell you, when me and my husband just met, we were in a situationship. So basically, he flat out said, like, from jump, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. He was in a relationship for 5 years, and he was single for a year when he met me, and he still wasn't ready. So at that time, I wasn't ready either. But as time went on, I was like, okay, wait a minute.
What is this?
What's happening? Because it was like, I was there all the time. He was at my house all the time. He took me out all the time. So it was literally just us, and we weren't seeing anybody else. So 8 months later, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I need to know. And I was prepared to walk away because I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. Because he did say that's not what he wanted. But at the same time,
I love that you just said that. That you was prepared to walk.
I was.
And not really blame him because you know he was up front.
Not at all.
And luckily it worked out.
It did. I did, but I kind of sensed it though. You know what I mean? Like you can see when somebody is holding back, and I can like when you're basically taking a gamble. You're like, listen, I am looking for this. I'm looking for more. And if you're not ready to lose me, then you need to lock this down. What's it gonna be? And that's what it was. So yeah, I get it, and you're right. It's not on the person who is flat out straight to the point up front. Like I'm not looking. It's on you on what you're signing yourself up for. So
that's why to me communication and transparency is necessary the entire time you're dealing with somebody to make sure that we all on the same page at all times. And if you're feeling ashamed, which they can, like yours did, you like, you know what, all right, I want more.
Right.
Or like I can't do this. I'm glad that you told him that when you felt that and that you were strong enough to be able to say, and if it doesn't work out, I'm really out. I'm not doing this for a game or some type of ultimatum to manipulate you. I'm serious.
right,
I want to move forward, or I'm gonna have to go a different direction because I can't do this.
exactly.
I'm too failing you too much. You know?
Yeah, like it's intense. So I guess my question to you is, if you don't mind sharing with us, give us a situationship that you were in.
So see, I write about that. One of my relationships. It's funny that you said that the first chapter of the book is situationships.
Okay.
That's the first chapter, and I give examples. And I tell an example that it was inspired by a young lady I was seeing a few years ago, and I told her everything up front. Told her and made clear, like I was just getting divorced, and I didn't want to jump back into that type of commitment again. But of course, we're adults. We like companionship. We like company and opposite sex. So, and if you're cool with that, she's like, oh, I'm cool with it too. Me and my baby father just split, blah, blah, and it worked perfect for us.
Right.
And as time went on, we got close, of course, staying the nights and all that stuff. And then she started saying, not that she wanted more, but I just thought, in sales, we call it soft closes. She started trying to soft close me a lot. Like, we do something kind of dope together, and she like, power couple. I'm like,
Power couple, I cannot.
stuff like that, you know what I mean? So like, try to like, because I didn't really want to be around her son like that because I knew the situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? But trying to like kind of push that relationship. All little soft closes, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should back off. And then I told her, I said, look, we had a situation, she addressed something to me that to me she was totally out of line for where we were. And I said, this is why I didn't want a relationship. But I said, she had this look on her face. I said, I said, you're gone. And she just shrugged her shoulders and said, what do you want me to do? And I was like, oh, and that was the moment I noticed like we were in too far. But I always said since my marriage that I would just be honest and upfront at all times, and just even sometimes reiterating it can annoy the other person, but I always want to make sure they're clear on where I it can get confusing.
It can, and that brings me to the point, and April Love, jump in here anytime because you're quiet tonight. She usually a little more outspoken than this. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just listening.
But isn't it kind of unrealistic to think that you can date a woman and wine and dine her and spend nights and do all those things and expect her not to fall? Isn't that a little unrealistic?
But do you know that it happens in reverse sometimes?
It does. I've done it. So I'm not saying it doesn't, but okay, the person. Let's not say the man. Let's say the person, because I've been a person where I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready for that. But yeah, so
I think you're right. Eventually it will come to a head, and then that's when you gotta have the conversations like you had.
right.
You know what I mean? And as long as everybody's honest about where they are, I don't feel like sometimes it ends where you walk away. Like I let her walk away. and she's married now. So.
Right. Good for her. Yes.
Well, I think I've been in situationships, but I've most definitely been the person who has not wanted it to progress more than what it was. And I was in a situationship where I felt like I was in two situationships at the same time. Ooh. One was the sexual situationship, and the other one wasn't. And they knew that each other existed.
Oh, okay.
It was my daughter's father. I was in a situationship with him. I didn't want to be with him like long term, but we were still doing what we were doing. And then I had a friend who, you know, would, if I called him, if I needed anything, he would come through. We was going out to eat. He took me on vacation. He was buying me stuff. And they crossed paths with each other. They knew what it was. He knew that I was dealing with my baby daddy. My baby daddy knew that I was getting picked up to go to, you know, places with the other guy. And I think for me, I didn't want to be with my baby daddy. Like,
this is messy.
And then for the other guy, I didn't want to hurt him because I know what type of person I am, and I could be a little bit on the kind of cold, heartless side of things. And I felt like for somebody who was so invested in me, I didn't want to have sex with him because I didn't want there to be any like damage done to him. I didn't want that on my conscience. So I most definitely was playing my cards a little funny.
You was dealing all over the place, child. So I mean, it happens.
Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt anyway?
I think he did. So I eventually stopped dealing with both of them and actually did get in a relationship. And I tried to maybe situation that relationship in a sense because I try to keep my little buddy. I try to say, you know, this is my man's, you know, yeah, we gonna go get something to eat, go here, but I'ma still be rocking with you. And he was like, no ma'am.
Right?
Okay, you're in a relationship now.
That's right. Put your foot down, young man. Put your foot down.
So he put his foot down, and, you know, I stopped being available, and so it came down to me eventually just saying, you know, like, yeah, I can't do these things with you because I'm in this relationship. And he was like, enough said. You know, he provided Netflix for me and my family. He changed the password.
Oh! That's how you know it's over.
I'm like, is that a situationship or a sugar daddy?
Nah, I would say it wasn't a sugar daddy. He's younger than me. But I really did. I like him as a person.
It was a young sugar daddy, a little sugar baby daddy. It was a sugar zaddy.
No, I'm gonna put some respect on that because he was a good dude, and he's still a good dude. I didn't wanna hurt him like that. I felt like if we had sex, he would be hard to shake off because my baby daddy was hard to shake off. So I ain't want them problems.
Yeah, and soul ties be real. Like, once you get sexual, things change. It just does. Like, for the worst.
Oh, no.
But, so, Dr. Ouch, because I'm waiting for this out. Like, why is your name Dr. Ouch? Like, what is the a.k.a.
Yes.
Dr. Ouch? Elaborate on that.
Because my style of writing is so raw.
Okay, that's what I figured.
And it's so truthful, and you know the truth hurts sometimes.
That's very true.
So that's where that comes from. And the fact that a doctor gives you what you need, not what you want. So I'm gonna give you what you need, regardless.
You hear that? Dr. Ouch gonna give you what you need. That's what he said.
It may hurt, but
he out here hurting bitches' feelings. Okay. All right. So basically, give some advice to a woman who is in a situationship that feels like maybe she's stuck and she can't get out. What should she do?
I think she should sit that man down and not be fearful about the conversation and be able to handle whichever way it's going to go, but tell them how she feels. Like, she should always be honest about your true intentions. I have a chapter about that relationships too. It's important because you'll play yourself. You're not only fooling the person, but you're going to play yourself too, because you're doing something that you know you can.
That's facts.
What about?
I would definitely have a conversation, and if that man says, okay, I'm ready to commit, cool. If he says, hey, I want to keep it like it is, I told you, the ball was in your court. You got a decision to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what would your advice be for the man, or not necessarily the man, because like you said, it could go both ways, but for somebody who is in a situationship that is just fine with it, and they find themselves in a situationship with somebody that wants to have those sit downs, what would your advice be to them?
If my advice to them would be to really reflect, because sometimes you might be like, you know what, I do want to move forward with this person. If you can handle seeing him or her with somebody else, which that's the truth, then you might, if you can handle it and still move the same way, then you need to let them know. Because that's what I did in the example that I gave. I let her go. And it stung a little bit when I was like, notice I didn't have the same access, but my position mattered to me more. And so I didn't want to play games with her either.
Very, very, very mature of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not easy to walk away.
Because what people shouldn't do, I'm going to say this, is start gaming after that. Because that's what happens sometimes.
What do you mean?
Then they start dangling that carrot, like, and then leave some hope, like,
oh yeah.
Well, look, it's not right now. And that hope factor, I wrote about that too. The hope factor is a killer. That's not fair. Like, that is not fair to do that to somebody. Because now you're playing with them.
Right.
And from anything forward, if you really know you're not going anywhere, you're playing with them. If you dangle that carrot just to keep them around.
That's so true. That is so true. And
So it takes maturity to, and I'm speaking from, I was, 43 next month. But I've done that back in the day. Mm-hmm. So everything I speak on, I've done. I'm talking from experience.
Right.
It's wrong.
Yeah. I agree. And, it's beautiful to hear a man say it, because maybe, it'll reach somebody out there that needs to hear it. Because a lot of people don't realize that they're even in a situationship. Like, they think everything is just all roses, when in reality, it's like, okay, what are y'all? Do y'all even have a title? Like, is he claiming you in these streets?
Nope.
Because it's like, well, you can't get mad at him if he's talking to other females, because he's not your man for real. Like,
don't tell her that. That's her man.
Goodbye. Goodbye. But, with that being said, I want to give you time to go ahead and plug everything that you got going on, because you have a lot going on. You referenced your book, Relationships. So let the people know what else you got going on and where they can find it.
I got relationships. Well, you can find any of my books at dr-ouch.com. That's dr-ouch.com, which is my online store. You can purchase any of my books. Relationships is doing really well right now.
Okay.
It's been out probably 5 months, and been getting a lot of love with that one, and people tell me how relatable it is, because the book that just speaks to, like, situationships, all of the shits, all of the things that you put out. So but I write it in a way where I put that mirror in front of you, where you see and take accountability for your part that you play in. And that's for the men and women. So that book, some people say it's the Black Mirror, because it's like that. And I have Life with Alpha Male, which is from one of my books, the movie, that'll be out later this summer.
All right now. Black excellence right here, y'all. Nobody give it up.
Yeah. And then I have another book coming out next month. I'm talking about race relations, the state of the climate of the country today, and it's called I Had a Dream I Wasn't Black.
Ooh,
that comes out in March, and And that's another Dr. Ounce presents. It's real, it's raw, and it's thought-provoking as hell. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different perspective. Totally different perspective.
Well, let them know about your first book too, because you had your first book. What wasn't your first book? Ouch, This May Hurt. Was that
my
it?
My first book is Ouch, This May Hurt. And that book is like, I say, the Discovery Channel for men. That's what I call it. It's just a book explaining male behavior, the good, the bad, the ugly, and stuff that men probably won't tell you that they only talk about barbershop. It's just the real on how men really think a lot of times in situations. So.
Wow, a lot of women need to read that for sure. Ladies, make sure you check out all of his content because it's all dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the I Had a Dream.
Yes, me too. That's our twist right there. We all in that. We into that over here. So I'm really excited for you. Very, very. I'm looking forward to seeing you progress. I know you're doing your thing. You're a very busy man. So I want to really thank you for joining us because you are very busy, and I'm just like really happy that you joined us today. So thank you so much, David.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, you're welcome.
If you ladies want a copy of Relationships, just DM me and I'll send you a copy.
Oh, you already know. You already know. You got my Insta, all my Insta socials and everything. So please.
All I need is y'all to DM me your address and I'll shoot you a copy.
Okay.
Got you. We got you. All right, David. Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
I know.
I think that is exactly what the ladies need. That's what people need. Like that real, raw, in your face, like nobody's playing with you. And if a man is saying it, like majority of men are thinking it and they're doing it. So go pick that up.
Yeah, but I think the key takeaways though is really in situationships you want to communicate, and as he was saying, like even if you find yourself in a situation where you're okay with it, I think you need to reflect, like, am I really okay with this? Is this really what I want to give up? You know, do I want to give this person up to somebody else and they can be happy while I was enjoying them and blah, 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 blah. So I think communication is key in situationships so that you don't stay too long there.
It is.
I think that's the thing. You don't want to stay
You don't
want to
waste so many years.
Yeah.
I know someone who is wasting. And
wasting.
And I hate to say it, but you're wasting so many good years and you deserve so much better. And you know who you are. I'm talking to you directly, sis. I love you to death, but you know where my stance is. I really feel like you need to just let this go. You deserve better. And the situationship that you're in right now, it ain't it. It's just not. And it's nothing against you. It's just the situation in itself. It's not ideal for you. And I feel like you deserve more.
Aww.
But I love you, and I hope you're not upset that I said it. You know who you are.
That's so sweet.
But that's all we got. That's it. Oh, and I also wanted to announce our next singles mixer. So I want to do a mixer this time, I think. I don't think I want to do it a speed dating. I think I want to do it a mixer, figure out some games to play, and just, have people interact. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Because they've been fun thus far.
They've been fun thus far. There's been a few quirks. That's why I'm not charging, because we're going to learn together. We're going to figure this out together, and then once I get it together, then I'm going to start charging y'all. But until then, it's free. And our next one is going to be on March 18th let's do it at 8:15.
8:15.
Let's move it to 8:15.
Why?
Because I got to get my child from work.
Okay, 8:15.
8:15. I know it's an awkward time, but let me go get my child from work, please. So March 18th at 8:15, we are going to have another singles mixer. So if you're interested, all of my information is right there for you. Go ahead, DM me, email me, do what you got to do to get in touch with me, and I will get you plugged in, add you to the list, and we're going to have some fun, because that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It is. So thank you guys so much for watching Love and Live Talk, and we will see you next week. Hey y'all, it's your girl V.
And your girl, April Love.
And we are your hosts of Love and Lock Talk.
If you like what you saw, please subscribe, like, and comment below. And let us know what you want us to discuss for future episodes.
Also, please follow us on Instagram at Love Unlocked LLC for updates.